Hi there, my name is Toby, and this is part one of a 7-part series in which I'm going to share with you my simple approach to martial arts, and I call this Wild Man Kung Fu. And I call it that because I'm trying to find the wild body, the most efficient natural body. The simplicity of this martial arts is to do with the body dynamics. I'm breaking it all the way down to the simplest form of holding a body, what is the most efficient posture to hold, and what is the most efficient way of using this posture. And it's this is I call the neutral stance. So I've got a neutral spine, the shoulders are up and back a little bit, and the hips are back a little bit, and my arms and legs are bent. They're bent about halfway, and everything is about the halfway position. It's the midpoint of all movement, and from here I can just twist left and right. Now this is the upright neutral stance, in which I'm trying to keep a vertical spine, and you can see I'm just gently pulsing between the hips and the shoulders and doing some random movements. So I'm starting to punch and shuffle around, but really it's not about extending the movements. This is all about the stance, trying to feel the basic structure, a neutral spine with neutral hips and shoulders, and then I just pivot through that spine. Now here's the full neutral stance. This is the upright stance. Now if I lever forward a bit at the waist, I'm on the ball of the feet now, so the feet are also dynamic. I'm on the ankles. I've got a bounce in the ankles, and I'm spring loading my whole body. The legs are like a spring, the arms are like a spring, and I'm moving between the upright and this forward neutral stance. Now I'll leave the link below to the full explanation of this stance, because there is a science to it. It's the midpoint of all movement in your body, and it's obvious that I should be trying to spring back to this position so I can move again in any direction from this position easily and naturally. So it's about efficiency. It's not so much about learning forms, it's about learning efficiency. So the one and only one form really to learn in this martial art is the neutral stance, this upright neutral stance, and this forward leaning full neutral stance. And now you see I'm doing the same thing, but now just starting to extend legs. But you see, as I'm kicking or starting a kick, I'm not finishing the kick, I'm still trying to hold this neutral stance. I'm shuffle my whole body forward into this turning kick or into this side kick, but you can see even in the air I'm still quite close to this neutral stance, and I can move my arms around randomly, but I'm always around about this neutral position. So this is key. The most important thing to focus on is the spine. I've got a slight backwards arch, I've got a projection in the hips, a projection in the shoulders that are backwards, and I'm holding my arms and legs bent in the mid position. I've got to keep my belly pulled in tight, so this supports the lumbar spine. And what I'm doing is creating a dynamic tension in the waist, in the spine, and twisting left and right. I've got a twist between the hips and the shoulders. And now you can see from that neutral stance in the mid position, I can change it around a bit. So here I'm extending a little bit further now. So this mid neutral stance, I'm shuffling around, but extending a little bit further out with the hands and the fists and the legs. So this it's starting to look a bit more like kickboxing, like martial arts as you've seen before. But notice the stance, the structure I'm holding. I'm still holding basically a mid position, a balanced position between the legs, but it allows me to shift my weight between each foot. So I'm changing and shuffling the weight, and then I've got a twist and a counter twist between the hips and the shoulders, and this will create power between the legs and the arms. So if I want to create power in my arms, I've got to start the twist in my hips and then throw it out through my shoulders, and if I want to create power in the legs, I start a twist in my shoulders and then throw it out through my hips. It's very, very simple. All I'm doing is holding the neutral stance, or the upright neutral stance, and then holding a dynamic tension in a neutral spine, so you've always got a slight backwards arch. You can think of it also a bit like fencing or traditional martial arts. They're very tall. You've got a nice good posture, and this is because of efficiency. If I want to pivot, I've got to pivot in a nice tall correct spine. It's much more efficient. If I'm moving the spine around and I'm not aware of it, it slows me down. There's too much work. So I'm trying to improve my efficiency, and there again you see extended into more different movements, and you can see now as well I can collapse the neutral stance down lower. So this moves towards wrestling, and here I'm showing a bit of monkey style kung fu, but look how close I am to the neutral stance. I'm still rolling about or doing whatever I've got to do, but I'm still trying to keep a neutral spine. The hips are projected back, the shoulders are projected back. You see, we tend to stretch everything forward, but that is extending our spine too much. I've got to try and keep this backwards arch. It's much, much more efficient. And here I'm doing more and more random movements again. You see, it applies to wrestling as well, and I'll talk about that in one of the later sections. But you see, it's all to do with the body structure, the body positioning, and the body efficiency. And then what you do after that is freestyle. So if you're a total beginner, you can practice this. Just gently start to extend your arms and legs out. And if you're an expert already in martial arts, have a go at this, because it's a very new approach. Try and find this wild man body, and be fully aware of this. You've got to maintain the awareness of this structure. It's important. Minute details of the structure create a great deal of force, and with less and less effort. It's very efficient. And now you can see from low down, I'm now going high up. So I'm still at a neutral stance, but I'm nearly just standing up, like I'm standing up naturally, standing tall. I've still got to keep this neutral spine, and I'm still creating a pivot between the hips and the shoulders. I'm shuffling about, trying to always keep in the middle, and the belly pulled in. And there you can see moving random hand movements, random leg movements, into more like, again, another different type of martial art. So all different martial arts can extend from this basic dynamic structure, this wild man posture, the neutral stance. Okay, I hope this made sense. Do check out one of these other videos here, and I look forward to seeing you in part 2 very soon. Thanks for watching.